Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. In today's video, I'm going to be covering biggest change to Express Entry that nobody is talking about in 2023. Why is it a great news for you? Well, number one is because a lot of people watching this channel have been complaining saying that your CRS score is low and that's why you're not getting invitations. Well, this is about to change just this summer. They have changed something that even people who don't have enough CRS score have a chance of getting an invitation to apply for permanent residency here in Canada. To be honest with you guys, I had to also increase my IELTS score to get the necessary CRS score when I was getting my permanent residency, when I was applying for PR. So you have to have a certain age limit. The older you are, the less points you have, certain language proficiency, work experience in Canada, and education in Canada. So I had to put a bunch of points in order to be even qualified, and still my score was pretty low. And I was pretty lucky to get accepted under Canadian Experience class when I got my immigration done here to get my permanent residency. But here's the good news. They have just introduced 6 categories that are going to be valid for this year. And to be honest with you, they're going to be changing things around from year to year. So these are the categories. So the government of Canada decided to introduce different categories. And for this year of 2023, they have selected 6 categories. I'm going to mention them in a moment. But let me first tell you how they have came up with this kind of categories. So the first way they came up with these categories is labor market projections. So they were in a communication, Canadian immigration, with other parts of Canadian government in terms of labor projections and what the labor demand is on the market. They did consultations between different provinces and territories to get input from different provincial governments. As some of you may know, but probably you don't know, I had to study this for my citizenship test after I got my permanent residency. But Canada has 3 branches of government, which is federal, provincial and municipal. So federal government had to consult with different provinces to come up with these categories. Here's a list of categories that they have came up with. Number 1 is, of course, French language proficiency. I don't know why it's so important, but I wanted to say most of Canada doesn't speak French, but for some reason federal government wants to be in a good relationship with French-speaking part of Canada, so Quebec. And there's a couple of other places that people do speak French. Even though there are 2 legal languages in Canada, really French is in the minority. Even some French people in Alberta don't speak French. But anyways, not to deviate from the topic, it does help you for some reason get an advantage in terms of immigration, or if you have French proficiency in addition to English. So if you do happen to speak French, it's really good. You have higher chance of getting your permanent residency way faster. I don't know why it's like that, but if you do, you have the advantage. Second category is healthcare occupation. And this is the big thing here in Canada. Healthcare industry is always underemployed. We are always struggling for nurses, doctors and healthcare professionals in general. So now they want to bring more people. And also, being an insider in Canada and living here for many years now, I can tell you one thing. Even if you get an invitation for this program, you still have to get Canadian licensing, so it's still pretty challenging to get your education and everything be recognized in Canada. So they made it pretty difficult, but at the same time, if you do have it, it's a really good thing. You could actually get your permanent residency. Third category is actually science, technology, engineering, mathematics occupations. Now, I want to dedicate this video to my wife's brother as well, who is in the United States right now, and you know how the United States immigration is, and he happens to be in engineering. So I want to say, hey man, you should come to Canada. Just get your immigration done here. It will take 2 decades before you get your immigration done in the United States. So for all of you engineers guys who are working and struggling to get your green card in the United States, now you have a chance to actually come and just get it done in Canada. I've seen a bunch of people coming here and getting their citizenship done and then going back to the United States with Canadian citizenship, because you can still get Canadian citizenship and then you can wait 20 years for the US immigration system. But with Canadian citizenship, I'm pretty sure you can get it faster because the waiting time is not as long as, for example, from countries like from India, for example. Number 4 category is trade occupations. It's really good actually, because trade in Canada in general, okay, let me explain to you guys. Trades are making a lot of money in Canada. It's one of those occupations that will always be in demand. It's something that artificial intelligence cannot change. You will still need construction people, you will still need skilled trades, journeyman, electrician, plumber, carpenter, you name it, gas fitters, and other occupations like that. It's actually really good paid in Canada. And you know, one of the trades occupation, I believe, actually is a chef on a kitchen. I might be wrong, but I think it's also classified as trades. But anyways, if you have those kind of skills and you don't want to be working in the office and still getting paid pretty decent salary, probably even more than most people working in the offices, trades can be a really great way to immigrate to Canada. But one of the challenges is the trades occupations could need to be recognized by the provinces. So in order for you to qualify under this, you might have to get a license within the province, and you could do that. You can do your own research on how that's done. But if you are into construction, or you are a carpenter, or you are a plumber, or whatever, this could be the gateway for you to get your permanent residency this year. Number 5, my favorite category. That's how I was almost going to apply to Canada. At some point, I was kind of watching these movies back home in Eastern Europe about truck drivers. So transportation occupations. It's the first time where Canada is like, you could be a truck driver and you can come to Canada. I mean, for a lot of people, and I even consider that myself, you look at the truck drivers here in Canada and you see how much money, how much income they're making. It's like, it's really great paying jobs. And now I know a lot of people in Eastern Europe, and of course even in India, let's say, because my wife is from India, that's why I keep on mentioning this country. This is actually a great pathway that just opened up this year. And number 6 is agri-food and agriculture occupations. So anyone of you guys working in that industry, that is too another way to get into Canada. There used to be other programs as well in the past, different ones. There are seasonal ones and there are permanent ones to get your permanent residency, but now they are introducing it into the express entry. So what's so cool about this entire list is that if you're an engineer, if you're a truck driver, if you're a construction guy and you're receiving an express entry and you know your English is not good enough, now you could use French proficiency. If you have some French knowledge, I know some of you guys watching this channel actually do speak French, because some of you guys coming from countries, let's say like Lebanon too. A lot of people in Lebanon somehow speak French. A lot of people even even in India, I've seen people speaking French. So in a lot of Arabic countries and African countries too, like even people in Ukraine do speak French. Some people speak French, but they don't speak English though. So that's kind of a thing. You know, you can get an advantage with this program, even if you don't have enough points to get invited under express entry. Here's my story, guys. In order for me to get invited to express entry, I had to build up a profile. And you know, a lot of you are watching this channel and you're thinking, okay, Igor, how do I immigrate to Canada? What do I do if my score is too low? And this is how you do it. Okay, I'm not an immigration consultant, I'm not licensed, even though I did immigration diploma to become an immigration consultant, and I decided not to do that because it's too stressful to handle people's immigration cases. So instead, I went into real estate and I became a realtor with eXp Realty in Calgary, Alberta here, and I help people buy and sell residential real estate. By the way, guys, my contacts are in the description of this video and in the comments. Just my phone number, just text me directly, not through WhatsApp. Best if you just text me from your phone number if you want to contact me. And my wife Neetu, she's from Mumbai. She also went through the same immigration process. Now she is with DLC Clear Trust Mortgages and she's a mortgage broker. But that's not the way how we immigrated to Canada. You cannot really immigrate through these occupations that I mentioned, like a realtor or a mortgage broker, because this is more like of a self-employed person. You're kind of employed, but you're kind of subcontractor, so it doesn't help you with your immigration. So how did I get it done, the immigration? Guys, I looked at my express entry and I realized my points are not there. I looked around and I was like, what are my options? My options were to apply for Alberta Immigration Nominee Program. Now they made it as an Alberta something advantage program. They changed the program. That program no longer exists. It was there was a strategic recruitment stream. There used to be another program that was called International Graduate. They removed that one, so they changed a lot of things since then. That was the one option, but it's too long. Waiting time is 2 years, and you have to be in Canada. What was another option? Well, for me, in order to increase points, I studied in Canada for 2 years. It gave me extra points for my express entry. Then after I studied in Canada, I got a working visa for 3 years. And after working in Canada for 1 year, I got more points. Finally, my score went up in English on IELTS, and this is how, yeah, because I was living and working in Canada. My wife is from India, so I speak English even at home. So I improved that way. I got barely enough points, and I got selected under Canadian Experience class. That's how I got my immigration done. So if you don't have enough points right now, or you don't fall under these categories, please don't be disappointed. You can still make it to Canada, and we will see you guys in Canada. Have a good one. See you soon.